Hi everyone, welcome to the Mark Anthony Masterclass. Today we're going to do a couple of gentleman haircuts for you today. We're going to go in with a skin fade where we're going to use clippers, natural, no grades, and then building up our weight and graduation with a scissor over comb. Let's get started and enjoy Mark Anthony Masterclass for men. These are the tools that I'm going to be using today on our men's barbering. We've obviously got our large comb with the handle, the wall clipper comb, our normal comb, we've got our beautiful refining clippers, and then we've got our large clippers which really work well for this graduation over comb and doing some nice tight techniques. So when working on men's hair, it's really important that we have this squareness coming through the sides and you don't round this off. So you want to keep this really nice and square so it shows off their jaw on both sides. So when we're sectioning, before we do our taper, I'm just going to section off from the curvature of the head, keeping this section nice and clean. So as you can see, we want to go in tight and we want to build up this weight, keeping this nice and square and not rounding off by the curvature of the head. So we've sectioned off a horseshoe shape on the top, leaving this square by the curvature of the head so that we can really go in tight and build up this weight line. So I'm coming in with my wall clipper and I'm actually opening the blade, okay? So the blade is now open. And now I'm just going to put in my line . I'm just going to work this line all the way around the head. Now, my blade is still open. Now, I'm closing the blade. I'm going in with my large clipper comb. And we're just running this off. Our large comb, handle comb, and again, just in, keeping this nice and square. And now as you can see, if you need to do any blending with the blade open, just flicking up. Closing the blade once again, just refining over the top. So as you can see now, we've got this really square, okay? So we haven't gone past the curve of the head. So we've done a real tight skin fade, which just comes in and it just blends and it's nice and square, as you can see. So coming on to the other side, blade open once again, and just putting in our line. So now going in with the clippers, blades open, and I'm just taking all the hair away. Now I'm going in with closing the blade. Switching to our clipper comb, closing the blade. Opening the blade, just refining that, getting that in. Going back to my comb, closing the blade. Now we're going in with our large comb, keeping it square. Our large handle comb. bone of the comb on the skin and keeping your comb at 45 degrees. So you're building up weight and creating that graduation and keeping this nice and square once again. Just flicking out, making sure you've got that blend. No grade needed, it's just a flick of the wrist and you create that nice square graduation. Switching to my smaller comb, finding this in nice and tight, opening the blade, just getting my blend. So we've done both sides and as you can see we've got a square. Now we're just going to do the blend into the back. Again with my clipper comb, working up, keeping my comb, the bone of the comb flat to the head. Opening the blade once again. Closing the blade, just refining this with my clipper comb. We've now switched combs to the lard handle comb, keeping this in nice and square, running my clippers across the bone of the comb and just blending this. As you can see we're taking shape. We've got this beautiful skin fade, using no grades, just freehand with your clipper and working well with your combs, switching from your barbering comb to the large handle comb and you get this great blend. Once again, just opening the blade, just refining, scooping off the head, just so you get that great blend. As you can see, we've got this beautiful squareness coming from both sides, and that's just freehand tapering with your clippers, keeping it nice and square all the way around, square from the sides, looking front on, you've got this squareness, so you don't go round the curvature of the head, you keep this nice and square so it balances the jaw. Now we're just going to go around the head with the small refining clippers and just do a blend and clean all these edges. So now we're using our large comb and we're just going to go in, keeping it nice and square and just refining the shape. Scissor over comb. Making sure everything is nice and clean and refined before we move on to the top. So starting on the crown, we're just working our sections and just point cutting in just to clean up the shape. Now we've done this top section. Coming to the front section, we want to keep maximum length, so we'll just work this through, keeping our length. And finally, to blend in the crown, working these sections. Everything on this top of the haircut has been point cut just to create a little bit of texture on those ends. Just refining graduation into the side. And now we're going to repeat on this side, just refining these edges, just blending in with your graduation. I repeat again, everything is just point cut. Just creating a little bit of texture on those ends. And I'm just creating a little bit more movement and texture in the front. So just lifting the front and visually just look, and you can just slice through just so it gives it some support and helps you lift your quiff. It just slices. I do find it quite useful just to go in the hairline and just take some small pieces out, and it works as great support and scaffolding to your quiff. As you can see, those little short pieces driving the hair in different directions just gives you that strong textured feel, but you still have the support. As you can see, we've kept this nice and square, moving around all to the back of the head, and as you can see from the back of the head, this is kept square and not rounded off. You always keep this square just off the occipital bone and keep this nice and square. You do not round off. It gives you better balance coming through into the back. Refining all this all the way round. So we have our finished look men's masterclass. As you can see, we've done freehand with clippers, going from the blade closed to the blade open, and then blending in with our large handle comb, and then back to our wall clipper comb. Refining the top, point cutting just to create added texture, and then running through the paste just to refine this look. Hope you've enjoyed it. See you again soon at the Mark Anthony Masterclass.